Are you dissatisfied with the quality of your handwriting? Let's fix that. Hello and welcome to Sketchnote School. I am your host, Doug Neill, and we just went through a little bit of a name change right there. This series used to be called Verbal to Visual Video, but that no longer makes sense because we have 3 video series on this channel. This series here, Sketchnote School, is all about helping you develop your visual note-taking skills. Next, we've got Visual Conversations, in which a friend and I smash 2 ideas together while keeping a visual record of the conversation. And finally, we've got Sketch It Out, in which I share an interesting and useful idea in a visually engaging way. My goal is to get to the point where I'm releasing 1 video from each of those series every single week. But this series here, Sketchnote School, will always be my priority. So let's get back to handwriting. To make sure your visual notes are useful to your future self, and maybe even to others if you're sharing your sketch notes, you'll want to make sure that your writing is legible consistently. Here are 4 tips to help you do that. First, use lined or gridded paper if you're not already. Those useful lines on the page will serve 2 purposes. They'll help you to write your letters at a consistent height, and they'll keep your string of words horizontal rather than drifting up or down the page. Over time, you'll develop muscle memory so that you can start using blank paper and still be able to write at a consistent height and maintain that horizontal line. The second tip is simple repetition. The more you intentionally practice your handwriting, the better it will get. My suggestion is to warm up prior to any note-taking session by writing the alphabet at least once, maybe even a few times. Via those warm-ups that are free from the pressure of a live note-taking session, you'll also get to practice slowing down, which is my next tip. Rushed writing leads to sloppy writing, so pull back the throttle a bit. Remember too that when you're sketchnoting, you're not transcribing. Rather than trying to capture ideas word for word, your goal is to synthesize the idea and use as few words as possible in combination with some helpful images to capture that idea. The 4th and final tip is to tweak trouble letters. For me, that letter was S. I had trouble being consistent with the curves, and it always felt like it took too long to write. So I simplified it by getting rid of the initial and final curves, which allowed me to write it consistently and in half the time. To show you that it really is possible to improve your handwriting over time, take a look first at one of my early sketch notes of William Zinzer's On Writing Well, and then compare that to a more recent sketch note of an episode of The Accidental Creative. The difference between these 2 is pretty glaring. Note in the recent sketch notes that I only use capital letters. Let's call that bonus tip number 5. Use all caps. For me, it's easier to write capital letters cleanly, neatly, and consistently than it is to use lowercase. I hope that these tips give you some actionable strategies for improving your handwriting. Not only will improved handwriting make your notes more useful, you might even enjoy the process a bit more as well when you're proud of the quality of your letters. Good luck with that practice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hope that you enjoyed that video. If you would like to dig a little bit deeper into the development of your sketchnoting skills, then check out the courses that we have available at verbaltovisual.com. In those courses, you will find a ton more tips and techniques for mastering this skill called sketchnoting. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.